Hey everyone, welcome to the Merk-Shop. My name is Aaron Merke, and today we're going to be talking about getting started in acting in film and television.
From auditions to headshots, agents and unions, get ready, because we're going to blow your mind. I'd like to thank my allergies for this voice today.
This is a series where I look at ideas from philosophy to personal growth, lessons I've learned, but hopefully something you can build upon. Welcome to the Merk-Shop.
Hey everyone, I'm Aaron Merke. Welcome to the Merk-Shop. Today we're going to be talking about getting started on film and television acting. We're going to be talking about headshots, we're going to talk about agents, talking about unions, casting services. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, we're going to be doing more. I'm going to be looking specifically at headshots in the future and just breaking that down a little bit more, classes in the future, all these things. This is just kind of a beginning and give you awareness to help you on your journey. So if you like that kind of thing, subscribe.
Get into a journal. It's not just for girls.
There was this thing back in the 80s where it was like, journaling, that's a girl thing.
Journaling is for boys. For big boys. For big boys. For the biggest boys around. Journaling.
So when you're starting out, I think it's really important to be self-aware, and setting goals for yourself, I think, is important. Knowing why you want to do film, writing that out is important. I suggest getting a journal. I do this for every class I teach. Improv, sketch, writing. Writing out what your voice is and understanding who you are and how people perceive you is super important. It is, I say it every workshop I teach. You need to write it out, you need to understand it, because that's your marketing. You have to sell yourself, so that's one thing you're gonna have to understand and know. Yeah. And then if you wanna change it, how you change it. But then you can work from your work that you're doing here. You need to get some sort of understanding of how to act. Just acting in general. It doesn't even have to be on camera. But specifically, I want to get on camera. But there's many different types of classes. You can have on-camera acting workshops. You can have acting workshops. You can have script analysis. You can have audition workshops. You can have so many different types of acting. There's so many types. So I suggest sampling when you're first starting out. Sample, see what you like doing. Because there's nothing like, if you're not into script analysis and you go and take a script analysis class, that'll be very boring, very tedious. I do think if you are serious about acting on camera and film, you need to take a script analysis course, or at least have a section of an acting course that at least allows that to happen, or does that a little bit. I think it's important to learn. It is immensely useful for auditions, and a lot of audition classes will do script analysis. And there's tons of classes. Like if you wanted to be a stunty, you can do a stunt actor. You could take body movement workshops, dance classes, MMA. That's mixed martial arts for some of you. Karate. And you can also take voice classes. That will help you in your acting career. So there's a lot of different things. You should test out classes. You should test out teachers. The reason why I say that is because you don't want to get fixed on one style, because that will just make you just rigid, and you won't be able to sway and move by learning just one approach and one style. Let's talk about classes in the price range. The price range is usually from at least like $100 to $600. Depending on what kind of class and how many classes and that kind of thing. You could find things for cheaper, like $50 from like community workshops, or $30 for community workshops. Just make sure that if you want to work in film and television, the teacher has had some experience working in film and television. You can also audit classes. Just one note, you can audit classes, and I think that's really important. That should be kind of, I know there's some people that we don't allow auditors because what the work we do is very secure, but it's like we're acting, and so it's kind of a public form, like a public form of art, so you have to be able to learn to act in front of people. And I know some people might, but I really feel like it should be best practices to offer audits of classes. So you can ask them if they audit, and you can really see what it is that they do and how they do it. Okay, this is why I have a journal, so I write things out and I don't forget. Journaling, important.
Journaling. Get a journal.
So you need to get some experience now. So you want to start auditioning. Auditioning's a really important part of this process, because without auditioning, you cannot book a role. So in order to do that, you're going to have to get a headshot. A headshot is what we use as our kind of our calling card. Now there's different types of headshots. As a comedian, I had this as a headshot, and that was more of my self-marketing, my stage character. And then I had this headshot, which is my marketing for an actor. So it's a basic picture of yourself, very basic, that shows you as the character that you could play like that. Think of the role, write down this, but think of the role that someone would hire you for if you were there for a bit part. Like a 1 second, 1 line thing. What do people see you as immediately, and what would that be? So a lot of my first work, and still kind of constantly, is I play a lot of drunks. I honestly don't drink at all. I don't smoke anything. So I play a lot of goofy best friends. That's kind of was my role now. I'm playing dads. I got my dad bod going on. So you just have to be realistic and honest with yourself. What kind of roles are you going to be going out for? Because when you start looking at notices, you're going to have to be honest and going, can I do this role? Because you don't want to waste people's time. Get some headshots. They're absolutely necessary. They'll cost anywhere from I would say $150, $200 to like $400, $600. I know this one, where is it? There it is. This one, I was living in New York. This was 2003. This cost me, I think, $600. And it's a good headshot. It is black and white because that was the standard back then. Was black and white was the standard. So there you go. There's a lot of different types of photographers. So headshots is something that is a specialized thing that people do. So just be aware. This is the tip I was given, and I like. Don't wash your hair the day before and drink lots of water, because it just makes your skin feel good. So yeah, that is headshots. If you have any questions about headshots, ask below. So now that you have your headshot, you can start auditioning and getting experience. You can get experiences many different ways. Like classes is a great experience. Auditing classes is a great experience. Background work is another way you can get experience. The reason why background work is good, you can get on set and really see how things work to a degree. A lot of the times the background is put in a separate area, it's called a holding area, and you are segregated from the work. But it is still a good experience. Make sure if you do background work, take a book, take some things to do, take a computer, do some homework, do anything, because it's a lot of time sitting around. It's a lot of time just like not doing anything. So make sure you take care of yourself and don't talk. And don't be one of those people that's like, did you audition for this guy? I had an audition for this guy, and blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of, there's a lot of busybodies in background work, and it can be annoying at times. I know this because I've worked background, and I've also done the makeup for background. So you're auditioning, you're getting auditions. Non-union film work is what you'll be looking at. Student film work. A lot of the times, like in Toronto and Vancouver and the bigger markets, you cannot audition for union films without an agent. You will need an agent for that. We'll get into agents in a second. But if you live in Winnipeg, you do not need an agent in any way. You can go and look. There's 2 casting directors. What you will need, though, is the casting services, and there's a few out there. The casting services are websites that hold your headshot and resume and all of your skills and that kind of thing. It's important to get. There's one that is across Canada. That is, I don't know if it's exclusive to Canada, but it is across Canada, and it's called Casting Workbook. It costs about $150 a year annual. But if you think about what you make on a day, that is nothing. You can do background work and pay for that within like a month for sure. So it's just a cost that you have to endure. But I suggest getting it, Casting Workbook. That's where basically all the breakdowns are basically calls for work. So they'll put down the roles, and they'll put down the description of the role and the description of the project, and then you can submit to those projects to be seen. So Casting Workbook is it. I think it's Casted in the US. I think they have a couple though, but Casted is one of them in the States. So There you go. That's the, you'll need that. Your agent will make you get it if you get an agent. So it's something that is inevitable. So it's like a cost of like a headshot. It's like the cost of classes. It costs money to endure in this business. Yeah. So let's talk about agents. If you're looking for an agent, you want to get an agent that is part of TMAC. TMAC is the guidelines and an association that basically keeps people in good practice. In Winnipeg, you do not need an agent. An agent is something that will seek out work, but you will need casting workbook. But agents in other towns, like in Toronto and Vancouver and Calgary, you need an agent in order for you to be seen by casting directors. So when you're looking for an agent, you want someone that fits you in just as much as you fit them. Like a lot of the times it feels like you just want someone to like you and to think you're talented. But go in for interviews, ask for an interview, ask if they're seeking, ask if they have someone on the roster, look at the roster, see if there is someone on the roster that looks like you, because you don't want to be stuck in a roster and in the bottom rungs. And how it kind of works is agents only have so much power. So you want to get an agent that really believes in you. If you can find an agent that really believes in you, stick with them, because I've had some agents that have believed in me, but they haven't gotten me to the places that I need to be. It's usually my footwork that gets me in the door, and that happens. I believe TMAC is there is an organization that has guidelines for agencies. There's a lot of shady agencies out there, so just be very careful with agencies. You don't pay an agent; they take money when you get paid. So the checks might come to them. You go to an agent and they want you on their roster. You don't pay them to take photos for you. They will go, you need a headshot. Your job is to go find a photographer. But this is my tip on finding an agent. Find an agent that has just quit a larger agency and is starting their own boutique agency. Go with them, because they're going to be hungry. They know the business already. They're going to be hungry, and they're going to want to push you up a hill. So that is the best place to start, but those are like unicorns. So just keep your ear to the ground, just listen to that kind of thing if you're looking for an agency. You want an agency that's hungry, that needs to make money. If they have a full roster, and they're great. This is for starting out. Eventually you might want to go to a bigger agency. And then there's managers and all that stuff. I'll get into that on another video, but for the basics, you just need an agent that's going to be able to submit you and have a good relationship with the casting directors. That's important. That's agents. Let's talk about unions. ACTRA is kind of the primary union for actors across Canada. What they do is they make sure your rights are there. They give you health benefits. But you have to become a member of it. You can permittee, so you can audition for ACTRA work, but you'll have to buy a permit to do it once you book. You need 3 credits right now. It used to be 6 in a year. Now you need 3 credits in a year to become a union member. So, and it's an opportunity. So, a lot of people feel like you have to be a union. You have to be in the union right away in order to get seen for roles. You don't. You just need to be able to be seen for roles, and how you do that is by just having a good relationship with the casting director. So letting them see the type of work you can do. If you have a really good audition, they will push you through, and they will be like, this person's really good. I've seen it happen over and over again. Don't feel like you have to be pressured into the union. A lot of the times when you're starting out, there's a lot of people around you like, oh, are you union? Are you union? You see this cast director? You see this cast director? It happens. That exists within this world. Just be aware that you don't have to be union. A lot of people try to stay non-union for a long time. I tried to stay non-union because all of my work with Much Music prior to a lot of my film work was non-union. So there are benefits to being non-union because you can work any job. You can get booked for union work and work non-union and pay a permit. If you become union, you can only work union work. So just be aware of that little word of advice. Here's some tips you can take home and start right away. Print off some scripts, not some crazy awesome scripts like Good Will Hunting, because no one wants to see you try to do Good Will Hunting. You will never reach the same level. That was written by Matt Damon for Matt Damon. That is not for you. Okay, the amount of Heath Ledger Jokers and Matt Damon Good Will Hunting I have seen. Don't do it. Just don't do it. And then also get a clip for your phone, one that you can hold your phone up to, and you can put it on a box, on a table, and start working on the camera and filming yourself, because you're gonna have to start working on camera and really recognizing what you see and really working the minutia of what it is you do on camera. If there's something you don't know or I didn't cover or it was too brief, please let me know down below. I'd love to expand on it and help you out. Until next time, thanks everyone. Bye. You better like this video. You better like this video. You better like it.